Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So, this month, my chair is running away from me. This month, for our Almania Souls in Harmony live on Patreon, I thought we could do a little journaling session on persistence, which is our theme for the season of summer. Now, I have this new book I've been pulling from and reading from for all sorts of different circumstances, and that's this one here, Black Liturgies by Cole Arthur Riley. It's got a lot of wonderful nuggets and a lot of beautiful prayers and poetry, and I really have just been finding it inspiring and helpful for things, and specifically things that require action, which was our previous theme. And so persistence is a way of sort of following on that in the sense of, not giving up. And that requires obviously patience and resilience and strength and courage and continued inspiration. So this one from Black Liturgies that I'd like to share is in the chapter on power. Let me slide over here. So, in our government, in our educational institutions, in our courts, and on the doctor's table, we see the face of the tyrant. It grins as it bans books in schools and scowls when we love who we love. A power so malformed, so malnourished of any kind of humanity that there is no way forward but to eradicate the moral cancer and rebuild under the leadership and imagination of the historically excluded. From Assata Shakur, nobody in the world, nobody in history has ever gotten their freedom by appealing to the moral sense of the people who were oppressing them. Maybe you've known what it means to exist under the thumb of someone who never wanted you to survive. Maybe you've sat in rooms where people speak right through you, walked down streets at night with keys digging into your knuckles, worked 80 hours just to not be able to afford your medication. I know helplessness. It convinces you of all kinds of things, but not all power is synonymous with domination, and not all freedom means free from all constraint. If control over your present circumstances has been kept from you, there is still a power in you that cannot be easily withheld. You are the descendant of a mystical force, subversive power. You who are still here, breathing, dreaming. Do not exhaust yourself trying to prove your humanity to those who have no interest in remaining human themselves. Do not petition for what's written in your bones. Claim it. An interior and creative power as we wait for the tyrants of this world to be cast out at last. As we wait for compassion and care to take her seat and push the world back on its axis. Resisting with you. See. And now I just want to follow it with this section. Cole Arthur Riley has a lot of moments where they'll follow some of these segments by some inhale, exhale sort of affirmations. And I really like this one, which says, inhale, there is power in this breath. Exhale, there is agency in this body. And so rather than use this as a meditative affirmation, I would like for us to have a little journal session together. And I would love to just explore what power feels like in your breath and in your body, and what agency feels like in your body. And I'm going to grab myself a pen. Aha! I have the perfect pen. This is a Lori Eichert Empowerment Studios pen. Lori is our wonderful fairy of many gifts for Almania, in case you are unaware. But for those of you who've been at Almania gatherings, I'm sure you've seen Lori and have been around for her meditations. So yeah, take some time, grab a pen, grab a paper or notebook, and I'm going to keep time for us here. And what does power feel like in your breath? What does power feel like in your body? What does agency feel like? Curious what that comes up for you. I'm going to put 12 on the timer. Cheers, y'all. Sir. No, thank you. I'm sorry, excuse me. Bro. I didn't even know you were in here. Enough. Thank you. Cats, am I right? Bro. Come. Okay, then go. Thank you. Thank you. See you later. Okay, so I have a few things that I landed on here in my journaling that I'd like to share and would love to hear let you all feel comfortable sharing in the comments if this is something that you end up exploring with yourself through some journaling or whatever that looks like for you. I started with power in my breath and what that sounds like. Obviously, so much of that is about speaking and having courage to speak up for yourself and others. But I also I put taking slower, deeper breaths whenever, wherever it's needed. Like if you're at work or if you're out and about and something happens and you need to just pause and take some deep breaths, that's like fully in your power to do so. That is, I think, power in your breath is like, I'm going to pause and reset my whole system using my breath right now. And that to me is ultimate power. Because who's going to say that, like, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, you need to like step aside. You can't be breathing slowly over here. It's not really, it's your breath. I also put extinguishing unwanted flames and encouraging welcomed ignition. Because so much of like the things that we say have power over what we believe about ourselves and the world that we're in. And so power in my breath for me also sounds like extinguishing unwanted little sparks of things that like, oh, I don't want that fire to grow because that's like a destructive one. This fire that I'm like setting by saying these negative things right now is going to destroy some things that I really love. And so I'm just going to try to instead encourage welcomed ignition. Like, how can I speak kindly about myself and the world in such a way that I'm encouraging beautiful flames that are for cooking, for warmth, for alchemy, for, you know, transforming things rather than something that is meant to take down or destroy. Don't get me wrong, destruction is great in some ways, and that's another layer of power in your voice and all that. As far as like the things that we don't want to see continue to grow, you know, cough, cough, capitalism, cough, cough, horrible systems of power. And then I took another section here to write about agency in my body and what that feels like. And so much of that is about, you know, basic needs and taking responsibility with care and compassion for my body, this vessel on this planet, and the thing that moves me through this life. That also means deciding what's comfortable and what's not for me in this body, and feeling more agency in declaring what that is. Obviously, there are many times to expand on our comfort zones, but like, hey, if I don't like tags in certain clothing items, I don't like tags in certain clothing items, and I'm allowed to take them out. And then I also put eating when I'm hungry, sleeping when I'm tired, crying when I'm sad, making when I'm angry, creating when I'm lost, trusting when I'm well informed, and asking when I'm learning. Agency, I think, is for me such a marker of knowing that there is still more to expand on and more to grow and learn from, but doing better with what you know how to do better with. That whole, like, if you know better, do better. And agency, I think, is so much of that, but with ourselves and our how we show up in community with each other. And so obviously, like, a lot of the things that we try to encourage each other to do are these things, but it's so much clearer to see when it's led by example. Like, I love seeing my friends take time to do what they need when they need it. It gives me a reminder that I'm allowed to do the same and that I should do the same for myself. And so, yeah. Also, because I feel like the ways that we embrace our own agency inspire the ways other people can take on their own as well. And so I know there's a lot that's been going on this week, a lot on the mind, a lot on the spirit and the heart with everything that we're witnessing in the world and in America specifically. And it's just always a good reminder that there are so many ways we can be involved as people on this whole planet, right? And showing up as a person first is really important. And so I really hope that whatever is helping you continue to take action in your life in positive ways, I hope that you are considerate of what sort of communities you're a part of and how are you helping those communities show up in better ways and in ways that encourage growth and, like I said, warmth and inspiration and nourishment. And yeah, I will be seeing you all at the end of the month for our virtual gathering. That's going to be on the 29th. It's a Monday. And that is also, I believe, the day that Kat will be going live on our Instagram. So if hopping on these lives and spending time with us on Monday is what you're into, you know where to find us. Until then, I hope you all have a really great week and keep persisting. I love y'all.